My friends, if you are wondering where to find a truly great writing program for your children, have I got a treat for you today. My guests are Professor Erin Brown and Aubrey Heki, here to tell us about the Aquinas Writing Advantage Program. Don't miss this.
Welcome to Homeschooling Saints, the podcast that helps you create the homeschool you love for the people you love. Our host is Lisa Mladinich, a Catholic life coach, TV host, best-selling author, and an instructor at Homeschool Connections.
Before we get started, remember to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the bell to join our channel. Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa Mladinich, your host, and today my guests are Professor Erin Brown and Aubrey Heki, here to tell us about the Aquinas Writing Advantage Program. Aubrey Heki, BA, has over 14 years of experience as a writing instructor, freelance editor, private school administrator, and writing assessment coordinator with Homeschool Connections. Today, Aubrey is the managing director for Aquinas Writing Advantage with Homeschool Connections. Aubrey guides AWA's day-to-day operations and helps support teachers and parents. Erin Brown, MA, MFA, has been a developer of university and pre-college writing, communications, and leadership programs for over 25 years, has been a professional writer and educational speaker for over 35 years, is the author of 18 books, and is the creator and senior director of the award-winning Aquinas Writing Advantage online program. This is going to be such a great conversation, folks. In the show notes, you're going to find links to the program, emails for Erin and Aubrey, and Erin's blog, as well as we're going to give you instructions for downloading a great PDF about these writing programs. So just want to welcome you, Erin and Aubrey, to the program. So good to see you both.
Thank you for having us, Lisa. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Aubrey. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, thank you both. You're so busy and you're working so hard at this and turning out such fantastic results. Thank you for making the time to be with us today. Let's just start with what makes Aquinas Writing Advantage so different from other writing programs, because it really has, boy, have you all planted a flag in the ground and really created fantastic results. I mean, I taught in the program for several years, so I know the kind of feedback that we get. But just go ahead and step us into what really sets it apart.
Yeah, there are really four things that set it apart, four elements. And I'm going to have Aubrey share two, and I'm going to share two because these are the cornerstone. These are the, well, I guess, four corners of the building of why this program really is award-winning, why it's been first in the Island Awards for 2023, 2024, and for, so many years now, had students that have gone on to really feel comfortable and ace their college writing, their writing for life, and even published authors. So four things. Aubrey, why don't you take us with the first two?
Yes, I'd love to. So one of the four things that makes AWA so different is the mastery learning approach. And this is actually something that's really near and dear to my heart, which is why I'm thrilled to be able to talk about this with you all. I like that students have the opportunity to take a writing concept and fully engage with that concept and fully learn that concept before moving to the next concept. I've seen how difficult it can be for students to, open really well-known writing curriculums. And I won't name names here, but just really well-known curriculums and writing programs, and kind of be forced into doing everything all at the same time. And not only are they writing paragraphs and writing strong sentences, but then we're also outlining, and then we're doing a little bit of research. And there's just so many components to the writing process that it can be overwhelming for students. And so what Aquinas Writing Advantage does is those concepts, specific concepts, are broken down. And so students aren't learning more than just one idea at a time before moving on to the next. So that's the mastery learning approach. The second is single topic courses. What is a little difficult for people to wrap their minds around is that we don't technically have the grade level, I'm using some air quotes here, grade level English and writing courses. Even though we do market our courses to be for, these are our middle school courses, these are our high school courses, and we say, okay, these are targeted for 6th, 7th grade, these are more 7th, 8th grade, these are 9th grade. We do that to be helpful. But however, if you have a middle school student who is a little bit ahead, then that student can accelerate through the program at a quicker speed. And it's okay that that student in 8th grade might start our, air quote again, 9th grade courses. Or on the other hand, if you have a student who is struggling, it's okay to start at some of the earlier foundational courses. And there's I know it really is hard for a 9th grader to think, oh, I'm in a middle school course, but that's not really how we do things here. So we want to make sure that students can master and focus on just specific writing skills. And so our courses have a specific order and cover specific foundations of writing before moving on to master more advanced writing skills.
And I know, Lisa, you're familiar with this, right? You taught these courses before.
Yeah.
And
it was so much fun teaching them because they're laid out so beautifully. And they really are. There's a great progression, and they're super creative, too, in the way they present things so that the kids really stay engaged.
Yeah, and that's really the fourth item or third item of the 4 is that they're clear, easy, stepwise. They're laid out in a really structured way that's easy to master. So not only is this mastery learning approach where we have one topic, and we're mastering that topic, we're feeling really comfortable with that topic. We don't move on until that topic is really solid. We focus on it. We give those students success so they feel good about writing, right? But then we have the overarching program is designed. I used to be a college writing program creator for a number of universities. And I knew what needed to happen right over here in college, in university learning. And I saw that what was happening in middle school and high school wasn't getting students there, right? And I know a lot of people listening, some of you might be thinking, there's no way my student's going to, first of all, get to where they want to be, where I want them to be in writing, but I want them to love writing. I want them to feel good about writing and like writing, and I just don't see that happening right now. So what I did when I created this program is I took what was in university, what I knew was going to be needed at university, and back designed in this clear, stepwise program, very straightforward. It's easy when it's grouped in a certain way. I've been a curriculum designer for many, many years, upwards of 40 years. And I'll just say some of the programs out there are not designed well. And I think parents, right, we see that. We get into something, whether it be writing or math, and we go, oh my gosh, I don't understand this, or this doesn't feel good, or my student doesn't like this, right? A lot of that has to do with the design of the program. So that was really important to me as a designer, to make it easy, to make it stepwise, both for the parents and the students. And the fourth thing is one of my favorite things, is that the courses at Aquinas Writing Advantage are taught by skilled instructors and professional writers. You, Lisa, are a published author, and you came in as an instructor, as a published author who could share your passion and your heart, right? I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but I feel like that was really key to students being connected to you and feeling like they grew that love of writing. And I think that's what many of the teachers here are published authors. They've been teaching a long time, or they're speakers, or they've been involved at a deeper level with writing, and they really understand writing, and they can bring that. These seasoned mentors can bring their advanced degrees and their years of experience into guiding competency. And it just makes a big world of difference to have someone that is on screen who's passionate, and you can feel the love of writing, and the students go, oh, maybe I could love writing too, right? Maybe I could do this. And that's what we want. Not just learning the skills, but a love of writing as well.
Yeah, well said. One of the parents said to me at one time, Lisa, my husband and I used to daydream. what if we could find people to teach our students, especially in the upper grades, who had a passion for their topics? Every subject could be taught by somebody with a deep passion for that topic. What a difference that would make. And then they found Homeschool Connections. And they were like, we couldn't believe it was out there. Like, God placed this desire on our hearts, and there it was.
Right. Yeah. Passion can really make a difference. And I think it's two things. The curriculum has to be right. I'm doing air quotes now, Aubrey. it has to be correct. And I, as a curriculum designer of many, many years, and as a college writing professor and a professional writer, I can say there's a whole lot out there that isn't even correct. And it just drives me crazy. I'm like, how can parents do what they need to do if the curriculum isn't correctly presented? Aubrey and I were lamenting, a week or so ago, about one of her children in school was presented with a writing assignment that had thrown the student into writing essays without all of the little steps, the mastery steps beforehand. So there was a lot of frustration, there's a lot of panic, and that's normal and natural. And so I don't want that to happen to any student, any student at any time. I want them to feel comfortable, like, I can master this, I can do this. So that's what we strive to do here.
Yeah, and I just want to say that we get fantastic feedback from the people in the courses and the parents listening over their shoulders and looking at their assignments and watching them get ignited to write, watching their children grow in confidence and mastery. But you're also getting feedback, as we mentioned briefly, from that big secular world out there. Would you say a little bit about these awards that the program has won the last couple of years?
Oh, yeah. A lot of fun awards coming in. Just online writing. There are so many different programs out there. And any writing program, there's just so much to choose from. We know this as homeschooling parents. There's just so much curriculum. It's overwhelming. I homeschooled for 34 years and I spent so much money on curriculum. I bet there's somebody out there listening right now who's like, oh, I did that. That's not good. And so we're just searching. We're trying to find what works. And being in education for a very long time, I can say that there are a lot of educators and programs that just are not hitting the mark. And it's sad to me. I love it when parents come and send us notes. They do that at the end of the year, sometimes during the year. I love the light bulbs with the students. But what's really, really fun for me is when somebody has gone to college and they're like, oh my goodness, my college professor says I'm the best writer in the class. Or I tested out of college writing, and that's because our 12 series course is really a first year college level course. And we really help the students get to that point easily. So they get to college, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And also we have a few students, a handful of students that have gone to college, gotten a degree in English and writing, and become published authors with major publishers. It's so fun because I'll mention this, we do have the largest faith-based fiction writing program for teens in the world. And wow. I want to say largest, not faith-based, but I'm still looking for I'm going to say that until someone says, no, what about this? Because, my passion, my background is not just in academic writing, but in fiction writing. And I teach authors worldwide. And I present last Saturday, I just presented to a romance writers group from Romance Writers of America. And so what's really fun is I've taken that passion too and brought it for the kids who want to be writers. And it doesn't have to be a full-time writing job, but who just want to write a book, want to write stories. And we'll talk in a minute about some of the courses we have that are really specialty courses.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah.
We're going to just take a short sponsor break now. We're going to hear from the wonderful folks who keep us going here at Homeschool Connections, and we will be right back. Don't go away. We're talking with Professor Erin Brown and Aubrey Heki about the Aquinas Writing Advantage Program. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Walter Crawford.
And I'm Maureen Whitman.
We are the co-founders of homeschoolconnections.com and proud sponsors of the Homeschooling Saints podcast,
which is here to help you homeschool more joyfully, more easily, and more effectively.
We want to thank you for listening.
And we invite you to check out our courses at homeschoolconnections.com.
And now, back to our program.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are with Professor Erin Brown and Aubrey Heki here talking about the Aquinas Writing Advantage Program. And we've just been set up with so much exciting information about kind of what sets it apart. And now we're going to talk a little about the actual courses. You're going to love this. So step us into it, Erin. What is the array of opportunities that's here for our students?
Absolutely. Basically, we take our courses and kind of clump them for our thoughts, and parents, you can do the same. To think about, well, we have foundations courses. These are the must-haves, the things we need to be able to communicate well in writing in college and in vocations, and really as a family member in the future, right? Just a person in society interacting. Those are the foundations courses, and those foundation courses are every single year. Now, some people say, but don't we just take writing a few years? Well, actually, no. Writing is one of those skills that is so critical, right? Communication, communicating, speaking, being able to write and talk and get our ideas across is critical to doing well, right? As in school and just as a person. So we've divided everything up in foundations every single year, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There are foundations courses. Those foundations courses cover the whole array of what you need. Okay, now, second group of courses is my passion, the fiction courses, the fiction writing courses. And as I said before, this is the largest faith-based online fiction writing program for teens in the world. It is MFA level, Master of Fine Arts level stuff. I've had adults take the recorded courses who are professional writers and then get published after taking the courses. So it's good stuff here. And the third, we call these specialty courses. We have a lot of new courses, but we also have specialties like journalism and, Aubrey, help me out here. So some of the, I'll go through our list of new
writing
ones.
Courses as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have, some of our new ones, I'm really excited about how to write a children's book. So we have someone who is an actual editor with Scholastic teaching that course. We talked about growth, coming in and teaching. We have journaling to become a better writer. Think about, who do you know super famous that journaled their ideas to become good at what they do, starting with Da Vinci, right? And all of the really famous inventors. So we're going to talk about those people and also how to journal to become a better communicator. There's a course called Writing for Video Production, Media and More, parts 1 and 2. So it's a full year. And this is really awesome because our society is so full of video right now, right? Everything is communicated visually, not just by speech. So we're communicating video production, media, and writing in this course with someone who is an instructor who's actually taught homeschoolers before, and his homeschool group entered a contest in Hollywood and won. They actually flew out to Hollywood and got celebrated there. And he's designed and teaching this course. His name is Doug Hughes, wonderful instructor. And so they're going to be creating video projects with the writing aspect as well. So really, really great course. We have a fun 4-week courses that are developing character series. So this is, if somebody doesn't like writing, I think of it 2 ways. If somebody really doesn't like writing, these are gateways for parents to get their kids into liking writing, because we do talk about all the good things about writing. Everything you need to know and do as a good writer is also in this creative course. Like they're called developing characters because we kind of get in by developing a character for a story. The first one's writing villains, antagonists, and bad guys from a faith-based perspective. Another one, writing characters with superpowers, which is fun, right? All the superhero movies and the MCU and Marvel and all that. Writing kings, queens, courts, and jesters. Right, we all know that those are fun, and also friends, buddies, and teammates. Oh my! So writing with characters from medieval royalty all the way up through into, Lord of the Rings, right? Sam and Frodo, the buddy story, and what that means, and human connection. So you can see these courses are fun, but they also delve into everything from just communication and writing to human nature. And I just love these kinds of courses. They cross over into all kinds of areas. And we also have something that's new this year that's a real passion of mine, and it's called Word Mastery Skill Building. for any student, middle school and high school. We have different levels. So Aubrey, you want to tell us about that? Because Aubrey's going to teach these courses.
Yes, and I'm very excited to be teaching the word mastery skill building courses. Eventually, they're books that walk students through vocabulary words, prefixes, homonyms, homophones, easily confused words, different word distinctions. And then students have the opportunity to write sentences using these newly acquired words to their word bank. It's really quick. It's easy. I've heard Erin talk about it being like a daily vocabulary or like a vocabulary vitamin, so to speak. But these books are just laid out so well. There's 12 weeks worth of material in one book, and there's 5 days worth of work. And it's just, a little bit of work each day to define words and to practice writing sentences. It's not difficult, but it's so helpful to expand vocabularies and understanding of words. Because when it comes right down to it, writing starts with words. And so it's so important for students to understand words. And I'm very excited. This class is going to be different in that it will be what we're calling a flipped classroom approach. And that means that students will have their workbooks at home and they will complete the work. And then we will come to class and discuss. And we'll talk about the different sentences that we've come up with, the words. Maybe these words remind us of other similar words. And we'll just have a great discussion. It'll be a 30 to 40-minute class. Really great class to add on to any of the courses that we have in our foundations. It's not meant to be a replacement for any of our foundational writing courses. It's meant to be a beautiful addition to give students a little bit extra.
Oh, that's absolutely. So good. I love the way you're covering all the bases. I'm sorry. Did you want to add something here?
Oh, I wondered if I had time to tell a story.
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
About this. Okay. So
a good one.
The book series, there are 10 books. It started, I want to say 20 some years ago, where I had a student with severe dyslexia. And people always say to us, what do I do when my student has dyslexia for writing courses? My student, who's now 35, 35 years old as an adult, she had severe dyslexia and was really struggling with learning words and the roots of words and, accept and accept with an A and an E and those kinds of things. And so I said, hey, let's make a workbook together. I want you to help me do this. And let's just kind of come up with, and we thought up this book together. And I created this book and had her find words. I had her really have a huge input. It totally changed her perspective about how the power of words. And she became a lover of words and began writing stories. And today she holds this amazing job that I don't know how she does it with severe dyslexia, but she does. And it all started with that years ago. Well, here's the fun part of it. That book, that's little workbook on my computer got buried in an old computer. And 2 years ago, one of my daughters, who's also in her 30s, said to me, what happened to that book? Wait, where'd that book go? I loved that book. And I said, are you serious? She said, no. I would tell myself, if I get my math done, then I get to do that workbook. Oh. And I said, are you serious? It motivates. She said, Mom, that was the best book ever. So I went and I dug it up, found it in an old computer, brought it out, actually created, changed a few things, updated, made it really shiny. And when I did that, I said, you know what? This is a series. And so we have built 10 full books that can go over 2 books a year, right? 12 weeks and 12 weeks. And so you can have on a regular basis this vitamin, as Aubrey said, to help your student learn about words and master words again and feel really good about their writing and words. And those little practice pieces, little sentences, just make it so much easier to master word mastery, skill building. So that's where it came from. And my daughter, who's 35, was so excited when I handed her the published book. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say these for my kids, who are now toddlers. But anyway, just to say that it came from a heart of, I need something to help my student, my own child. And then it came and turned into this amazing series that people are starting to say, oh my gosh, this is so, my student can do this. It's accomplishable. They're learning, they're practicing. So fun story. Took a little longer than I thought. Sorry about that. But
no problem at all. No, those I think are the things sometimes that we remember that encourage us in those moments when we're struggling and we realize our moms and dads are innovating out there. And so here we are with the product of that. And how beautiful that it was one of your children that brought that back to life. How wonderful. Could you step us into some of the ways that just you've touched on some of the benefits to the students. What about how it benefits parents? Just speak into those places where we're kind of wondering, what's it going to feel like for us as a family?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I like to say for a parent using any of the courses with Aquinas Writing Advantage is it's done for you, right? You don't have to worry. All of the thinking, all of the creation, all of the fitting together perfectly has been done. And it's not just, what am I going to do for 9th grade? What am I going to do for 10th grade? The whole beginning to end has been orchestrated for you with people who it's not just our passion. It is my vocation. It is everything, that I've been working on from university teaching all on down. And so that is peace of mind. Mm-hmm. That's what it does for parents, right? I can feel confident and relaxed and know that my student is getting exactly what they need to be a great communicator. So that's the number one thing for parents. Aubrey, is there anything you can think of for parents or students that is exceptional, that's unique to us?
Yes. Yeah. I like to think of it in terms of as parents, sometimes it's challenging to engage with your student on a difficult subject. And it's helpful, even though, we're homeschooling families, to have somebody step in and be that instructor for your students, particularly with writing, because let's face it, it's difficult as a parent to really, truly be able to evaluate your child and to really know, okay, is my child on target or is my child missing the mark somewhere? Even if all the different skills, sometimes we as parents just don't have that perspective with our own children. And I'm sure there's some specific, fancy words to describe that phenomenon. I don't know what they are, but I've experienced it as a parent myself. I have a rising middle schooler and all the way down to toddler. So I think that's really helpful for parents to have somebody step in and say, I'm going to work with your child. I can see where your child's at, and I'm here to help you.
Fantastic. I love that.
Can I just say there are tricks here that aren't in other programs?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that parents understand this is not like other programs. Well, it's just one of many. No, it's not. It isn't. And I can guarantee that, again, because of all my years teaching university writing. And the things that I developed while I was teaching university writing, these little tricks and fun tips and short ways to really grasp things quickly. Lisa, you can speak to this. You taught these little fun pieces and little memory devices that are not in other programs. And for example, I always say this one because people go, really? Thesis statement. People say, write a thesis statement. One sentence that tells everything. Well, how do you do that? There are 5 pieces to a thesis statement. Time-bound element. When is it happening? Geographically bound element. Where is it happening? Today, across the world. See, by using those 2 words, I'm 2 elements. I've got a claim, what I'm trying to prove, or to state in whatever I'm writing. I've got a blueprint, which means that whatever sections I'm going to cover on the inside of what I'm writing are like described in a keyword. So if I have 2 paragraphs, I've got a keyword or a keyword phrase for each paragraph that goes into the thesis statement. It's tied in. and then something called a qualification, which I can guarantee you it's not done in other programs, because this is something I worked on with university students and brought it down. And middle school students can do this just fine. The qualification is, what is the argument that everybody else is saying? So if I were to say the best office supplies are pens, notepads, and I don't know, a mouse for the computer. Those are the top 3 supplies. That's my claim. Today, across the world, those are my geographically bound, time-bound elements. So what would people say? What would they argue? They'd say, oh, no, it's not. What about this? What about that? Isn't this a computer? Computers are most important, right? So my qualification is, although there are a number of tools that make offices effective, comma, and then I go on for my claim. See, now what I'm doing here by teaching students these little pieces, they can master each piece. This is a good example of mastery learning, right? They can take something and pull it apart into little pieces and go, oh, I could do that. I could think of one piece, and then they can learn to add those 5 pieces together. And now we have a really full, cool, clear thesis statement, right? So again, I'm kind of going on a little tangent here just to show you're not going to find that at other programs. If you do, call me. Send me an email. Because these are things that have been developed over close to 40 years of teaching that are unique and quick and more fun, quite honestly, right? And Lisa, can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
What is the most fun thing that you remember from teaching at this program years ago? Can I ask you that? I'm going to turn tables here for fun.
Yeah, well, it was neat for me because I was, as you said, I'd already been writing out in Catholic magazines. I'd been publishing books, but it was broken down into such a fun progression that was so easy to grasp that it was the first time that any of the rules had stuck in my head. I was no longer dependent on editors for writing well. I mean, I was writing well enough, but I was dependent for certain things on editors. So as a professional, being able to teach these super fun, engaging courses, it lit me up inside about stuff I thought I was never going to be good at. Punctuation and grammar, to me, that was dry as dust until I taught you. No, really, it was super fun. Super fun. So just in the interest of time, where would you like to land the plane? What's important for us to leave in terms of what else do they need to know as they're considering hopping in? And of course, we're going to have all your links and your emails, and they'll be able to download the PDF guide on the writing courses. But where would you like to start to wrap things up? What's important?
That's a good question. One of the best, the top question that we get, topmost question is, how do I start? Right? Where do I begin? So for someone starting in middle school, Aubrey, why don't you talk about middle school and I'll talk about high school? How's that?
Sure, that works great.
Yeah.
So for middle school, our foundation series is called our 6-7 series, and that's just the very, very initial course. Those are our foundations, and then from there we have our 7-8 series, which is the kind of the second level to our middle school foundations courses. And then beyond that, say you have a 6th grader who does 6-7 and then a 7th grader who does 7-8. We do have other great courses on literature and writing that would be fabulous in the interim between middle school and high school.
Like an 8th grade course. Yeah. And sometimes, well, for starting high school, if you haven't had middle school, it's okay. You can start the high school because the 9th grade year is still foundations. And we do some of what we did in the middle school, but it's spiced up and it's much more intricate and it's much more deep and broad, and punctuation and grammar covers so much more, ellipses and brackets and all the little fine details that you don't have to worry about after you take the course. So foundations at first, the 9 series. And then 10 series is called vocabulary and writing. And students learn over 750 courses, 750 words, definitions, vocabulary words in the 10 series, 10-1 and 10-2, 14 weeks and 14 weeks. So it's a 28-week, kind of a longer, school year, but there's a little bit, you learn and you write, you learn and you write, and you learn and you write. It's a lot of practice and fun. And then the 11th grade year, typically 11th grade year, 11th series, is the creative writing. And it's all about getting students excited about creativity and all the elements of stories. And then, of course, the 12th series is the senior level, really 7, 8 starts advancing students, so that when you get to the 12th grade courses, you're really doing pre-college, college first year work. And so those are the foundations. You can jump in at any point with the writing assessments. Aubrey, would you tell us about the writing assessment? Because I know you've been the writing assessment coordinator in the past.
Yes. So we have a middle school writing assessment and a high school writing assessment. And we have information about that on our website, which will be linked at the end of this podcast. And you can also reach out to me. I have a passion for helping families find out what courses are ideal for their students. And I can also guide you to the writing assessments as needed.
Wonderful.
Excellent. So you can find out where you want to go, where you need to go through an assessment. Mm-hmm. Or if you have a 12th grade student, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Just email us. Well, we really love, as Aubrey said, we love to talk with people about, oh, you could try this or this. And because every single course here is recorded, it's really easy for students to, quote, catch up or get the foundations and feel really comfortable. And the prerequisites are there just to help the students feel comfortable, right? To feel like they didn't miss anything. And the recorded courses are really helpful. You can take them fast, slow. It's just really fun.
Yeah.
Individualized.
I'd like to say to everybody that part of the fun of teaching in this is part of the fun of learning in this program. And that is that it's a high touch experience. Not only are you getting all of the technical skills, nothing is skimped on, but you're getting these passionate instructors. You're getting a creative framework to operate in that honors the human, honors the relational. It's quite beautifully done. So kudos, Erin, for amazing learning design based on so much human experience along with training and all your professional experiences, but also then putting people in the seats to teach who love our faith, who love their students, who are willing to pour into them. And really, I would say across the board, I haven't met an instructor that didn't go the extra mile to take time to talk with parents. And the two of you with such a passion for this program are always going to be there for the parents too. So just want to encourage everybody. This is not as impressive as it is. It's not a scary program at all. It's so inviting. It is so much fun. And it really just makes good sense. And I know that you all want to make good sense and you want your kids to be able to make sense of the world. Can I add one more insight that I think is really important? Is that a lot of our students, our homeschool kids are amazing and they have all different, some of them have learning struggles or whatever. There's all sorts of stuff going on, but a lot of our kids learn by processing verbally, as you mentioned with the journaling. Like so many people find out what they think by writing or creating speech, right? And so that it helps them not only to organize their writing, but it helps them to organize, as you said, their own thoughts. It helps them to begin to express them more authentically, more deeply, and with a lot more confidence. So really just want to praise this program, very, very deserving of its awards for kind of exceeding what it would have to do to be marketable and just going way, way beyond that.
We want writers to be thinkers. We want critical thinking to happen. It's not a rote method. It's not copy work. It's not something that is very much in a box. It is outside of the box because we want students who learn to love writing and love communicating. And just that's our number one goal, is to help students feel competent and enjoy it all along the way.
Yeah. Professor Erin Brown and Aubrey Heki, thank you so much for all that you've poured into this program and continue to, and for your time today. Everybody check out the Aquinas Writing Advantage Program. And again, we've got both of their emails. We've got the link to the program itself and Erin's blog. And we will also include in the show notes instructions for downloading that writing course PDF guide. Anyway, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate your being with us. And thank you again, Erin and Aubrey, for so much that you're doing for everybody.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lisa.
Happy to be here.
All right, everybody. God bless you. Please pray for us. We're praying for you too. Have a beautiful day in the Lord. And that's our show for today. Our program is sponsored by homeschoolconnections.com. Be sure to subscribe to Homeschooling Saints and leave us an honest review. God bless you, and thank you for joining us.